Welcome to part two. I finished shooting the first part like seconds ago, so this is the same place. So yeah, I don't know at this point. I'm confused. I learned. I mean, I read a lot of philosophy. Actually, not a lot. I'm almost done with the book Beyond Good and Evil by Friedrich Nietzsche. There's a lot of things I don't understand. He made lots of bold claims all over the place. Some of them truly blew my fucking mind away. Some of them almost made me cry because it's just so amazing that I just read that. And a lot of it, I like the experience of reading it was mind boggling. Like, the experience of reading it, I can tell what I'm reading isn't a normal book. This is so dense in meaning, and I can feel that way because like the sentences are packed, you know and the sections are packed. The book is packed, so it's really, really dense. And so I'm like, at this point, I'm just confused. I don't know if I am outgrowing everyone by such a huge margin or if I'm deluding myself, and that's all I'm doing. I can't tell. And every time I, I ask myself that question, I then think, okay, how about this? Take one goal, one little direction, and do that. Even if you see a better way, don't go to a better way because you need to see that you're making progress and not deluding yourself. And then I do that, and then like 80% of the way there, I think I actually assess and evaluate myself, and I think this is such a goddamn waste of time. I could be doing things that are 20 times better. And I see them. I learned how they're 20 times better, you know? But then again, I think, you know, I have to really believe that I'm making progress before, even if I'm sacrificing something that's 20 times better. It's better to guarantee small progress than to take the maybe or the illusion of huge progress, because huge progress in an illusion is no progress. So some progress is better than no progress. And so it's better to make progress and know that you make progress than to make huge progress without being sure. I guess because you like fundamentally that's true because you live only once and you need to play the life game conservatively because otherwise you die. You need to play it safe. At least that's my personal philosophy. I don't know about you guys, but I like to stay safe because I only get to live once. I'm not gonna be too reckless with this one. And you can make lots of progress even when you're being too conservative. Not too conservative, but even if you're being really conservative and really safe, playing it safe, you can still make a ton of progress in life. Anyway, so yeah, and I guess I need to look back at my life and see, am I really making a lot of growth or not? And it's not clear, but every time I truly dedicate myself to something, I do it. I just do it. Of course, now if you see my eyes, I'm looking at this cabinet here, and this is proof that that's just not true. Because I committed to taking this whole cabinet out of my room, and this thing to my left, right, this thing, and the stuff up top, and those things, uh, take them out of my room. I took out the books right there, these books here. I didn't take out those books over there. So this is one of the things that I tried to do. I mean, that I started doing, and I didn't complete. But no, but I failed at this one. It doesn't feel that good to fail at this thing, and it's the same kind of failure as my teeth. I was supposed to put braces on like a decade ago. I postponed it for like a decade now, like literally 10 fucking years, and it's still on my to-do list. I fail things. Okay, I'm human. I don't expect too much of myself. I don't expect perfection out of myself. But if I look at the real growth I've undertaken, and you know what? No, no, no. I can't judge myself objectively. I can't. I try. I try and do that, but every time I attempt to do that, all I see is my failures. All I see is this. That's just not true because on the other side of the coin, the people in my life tell me I've had enormous successes. And I mean like enormous. I've been called a genius many times, but still it still hits me hard. I still don't know what to feel about that. Um, like I've been seriously called a genius, and on more than one occasion, I wasn't supposed to hear it. So it feels really genuine. Anyway, um, and I've been told that I'm growing really fast, and by my friends, by my therapist, and I see my changes reflected by my family, like the way that they respond to me. It kind of reflects that I'm changing a lot. It tells me that it's clear to me that that's the case. Although again, I often don't judge my own personal judgments. Often, most of the time. But this one, like I can't ask someone else to make this judgment for me. So I have to rely on myself. I think I'm right in that they reflect a lot of changes in me. Like the changes in me, they bounce off of them and hit me back, and I see the bounce out off of them. I trace it back to me having changed, because they often don't change. Most of the time, they don't change. They are as they have been for decades. But me, I've been changing so much, and I see the way they talk that my family members talk to to each other, and I relate that relationship with their relationship with me, and I see the change they're happening. That tells me that I've been changing a lot. That tells me I've been changing often, not necessarily for the better or for the worse. I see my failures, and I see my failures today versus my failures in the past. My failures in the past have been very, very, very small scale. Like, I failed at making a phone call. I failed at, I don't know, not eating pizza, for example, which is still a challenge. I failed at making that text, or I failed at speaking and not stuttering, or I failed at walking into class and taking my seat without appearing or without feeling like I appeared nervous. Very small, pathetic stuff like that. But right now, my failures are, hey, I didn't take all this crap that's been here for years off of my room. I only did like a big chunk of that. Actually, uh, taking the books off of here, it, the reason that I stopped is because I was physically tired. The books were a lot heavier than they looked, and I'm not that strong physically. And it took like what 20 trash bags filled to the max with books, and I was concerned that the bags be would get cut because the books are heavy and they got somewhat sharp edges. Uh, and so I stopped there. I said I'll come back. So the core reason I didn't finish this is because I'm lazy, not because yeah, it's because I'm lazy. So if I start something and there's a break in the middle of the task, um, it's hard for me to pick myself back up after the break. Anyway, so I see my failures today compared to my failures in the past, like not that long ago. Like I'm talking like a year, maybe 2 years ago. Huge, huge difference. My failures are now much larger. And so that tells me I'm making great progress and all. Yes, but still not clear because even if that is true, that means that I'm growing at such a fast pace that it's a bit too much to believe because that's like a dream. It's too much. It's not realistic. It's not likely that that's reality, and better yet, it's not likely that that's my reality out of all the people in the world. Of course, that doesn't mean other people in the world aren't growing faster than me. So yeah, but but the way that people talk to me, it really shows that I've made a lot of successes, And like, yeah, I've made lots of successes, and that I keep not believing in myself. I keep not recognizing my own successes. But other people notice them. The people that have known me for quite a while, not that like in the span of like maximum 5 years or minimum 6 months, in this range, um, they see I've made lots of change. Not everyone though. Not everyone who's known me this period sees this. That's either because I haven't made that much change, or it's because they don't know me that much. I can't tell. But yeah, I guess like I see my life right now, and you know what? Yeah, look, yeah. I'm just do things in chronological order here. I see my life right now, my daily life, and the way I behave. And you know what? My friend had recently told me I have a YouTube channel, and he thinks that that's brave. My other friend also said the same thing. I was like, brave? Really? Me? Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. It doesn't make any sense to me, but thanks. Um, and yeah, and they said I have a YouTube channel, and I founded a society. It's a small baby society, and it's not even an official legal entity, but that's a lot. I created that thing, and we have monthly meetings, and I make those every time. So that's a big deal. I don't think of it as a big deal, not at all. I think of it as like it's like it's barely even a success. Come on, it's like it's a baby step, and it's not nearly as good as I should have made it. But they see it as a major success, then, and that really makes me feel like I'm not being fair to myself. Yeah, and they see my boldness now. That that I do things very easily that they're terrified of. Now, I don't know what allowed me to get to this point, to be so bold and courageous and brave, although I see myself as not bold, not courageous, not brave, not even a little bit, but they see me that way. And I see myself that I don't know what got me to this point, but this tells me I'm making progress. I can't get a bird's eye view of myself. It's impossibly hard because I have extremely laser focused tunnel vision on myself. It's hard to take a step back and think. It's really hard because even if I do that, I will get a very skewed subjective perspective on my past, which basically renders the bird's eye view useless, right? And so I guess I have to rely on other people's judgment of me, which is a lot more objective than my judgment of myself. Of course, it's less informed, but it's more objective, which is important. Like this whole two-part video, maybe even a three-part soon, is about just me questioning: am I making progress, or am I just deluding myself? I honestly can't tell. And I suppose the test I've always had in my mind is after I graduate, and if most likely if I start my own business, the success of that business or the subsequent business after that one, if it fails, uh, will be the ultimate test. It will be that test. It's a boolean. Either I've been growing like a motherfucker, or I have been stagnant and chasing my tail since forever, and I'm deluding myself with grandeur, with grand missions. Although the way I speak about myself and my missions, uh, like if I talk about them honestly with other people, the way that they respond to me, they take me so seriously, and because of the grand nature of the mission that I tell them, most of the time you wouldn't expect someone to take you that seriously because it's crazy, it's absolutely insane. But they take it seriously and they respond with a seriousness, with serenity, which tells me that they're immersed in the mission statement, I guess. Which tells me I'm not deluding myself all that much because I'm able to communicate it and carry it carry it with confidence, which says a lot. It either says a lot about me growing, or it says a lot about me losing my mind and being so disillusioned that I believe my own lies. I can't tell. Hopefully, you guys can give me some insights. I hope.